Welcome to the self-palpation section. This section is really for exploration of tissue and promote blood flow and get as much tissue quality change as we possibly can. Our movement is really what's going to improve our system overall, but sometimes we need to use tools to help us move better. And if we have a lot of tension built up, whether it's mechanical or neurological tension, we can often do something with some sort of feedback. And a lot of the tools that we have, self-myofascial release is a common term that's used, or foam rolling, or some people say smashing. You're not going to, as far as the research tells us, you're not really permanently changing tissue quality by doing any of this stuff. But it does give us a sense of how tender we are, maybe how messed up our system is, the tension that we have, and when we're on specific structures and then we move the related joint, we get a sense of where the tension is coming from. And if we can actually put some directional tension, which is a little challenging with this stuff, but if we can put directional tension and then move the structures, potentially we can create a little bit more freedom, or at least a window of time to move better. So then if we go into our expression, if we go into our cars, or if we go into our corrective work, we have the potential for more capacity. And when we use that capacity over time, that's how we get true change. So with the tissue, we can just move over it back and forth to explore where the tension is. When we find those areas, we can sit there. That's not the most productive way. We want to use movement as much as possible. So as we're doing this stuff, I'll try to explain what body parts should be moving on what structures and in which directions. And really the direction is as much as possible. If you feel tension in a specific area and then you identify the structure that's causing that tension, that's where you want to hang out. Hang out on the structure, make sure you're breathing well, keep your ribs down, keep your spine neutral, and move the structure to the greatest range you possibly can. I'll talk about isometric ramping, and some of these. Isometric ramping is essentially using a device on specific body parts and then contracting that tissue at the very specific point where whatever tool is or sits. Isometric contractions have been shown to reduce tension, and they're also a safe way for us to contract tissue and maybe downregulate the nervous system in that specific area so that our tissue is not so guarded. And so essentially what we'll do is we'll take a specific tool on a specific body part, and then we'll try to contract that specific tissue under or on top of the tool, ramp it up in tension, and then bring it back down. Keep your breathing calm and solid. And this is not only gonna potentially calm the tissue, but we're also giving the brain feedback of that specific area, and that will improve the cortical representation of that proprioceptive map that we sometimes lose as we go on in life. So it's just more awareness. More awareness means potential for more control. When we have more control, we can move better. So I hope you enjoyed this section, and please feel free to navigate to the specific areas that you need work on the most.